Former General Hospital star and rocker Rick Springfield's exposing his shocking past of drugs, wild sex, and attempted suicide.
With General Hospital's resident heartthrob and a chart-topping pop star. But he's exposing the darkest, most shocking moments from his past in his new book, Late, Late at Night. Please welcome Rick Springfield. You give a good hug.
Thank you.
We're glad you're here, Rick. We have a very excited audience right now. You really are.
Well, I thought since Russell did the whole thing in English, I'd do this whole interview in Australian.
Yes, sir. Rick is Australian. Can we blame you for Mel Gibson? That's what I
No,
wanna...
Mel Gibson was born in New Jersey, so he was raised in Australia.
But he was raised
Interesting. The book, Late, Late at Night, line from the
Gibson's in my
song.
book.
Here we go. Line from Jesse's
He
Girl.
got my house.
Is that right?
That's all. Yeah.
Is there really, though, I think we were going around the audience, I was asking some questions. Was there a guy named Jesse and a girl that you had a crush on? Did she belong to Jesse? Was
No,
there
I
a Jesse's
completely
girl?
made it up. It's a made-up story. No, it's a true story, and his original name was Gary.
Gary's girl.
Gary's
Yeah, no,
girl.
it
Doesn't
didn't.
make
It didn't work.
It didn't work.
I tried for a little while, but it didn't work in the song at all. So I changed it to Jesse. Actually, I was wearing Ron Jesse's shirt, Rams Ron Jesse, who actually just passed away. And his name was on the back of my shirt, spelled Jessie, his last name.
Wow.
And that's why I misspelled the name Jesse. On the record, it's a female spelling because I spelled it like Ron Jesse's name. So
I want to
never
talk
knew
a little
that.
bit about not a little bit, but the book is very open and very touching and in many ways very dark. And you write about the fact that when you were 17 years old, you were so depressed that you tried to hang yourself and the rope fortunately broke. But that you still, today, you write very openly about the fact that you get into deep depression. I wonder how...
I'm in one now.
Yeah, I don't blame you with this, but it's what you write about, and I read the book. But is it something that you can... Is it treatable? Are you on medication? How? Because you have such a strong career.
Fly.
Oh, I thought you were going, no, don't ask.
No, I wasn't, but it's in your book. It's a good part of your book.
I refer to my depression actually in the third person. I call him Mr. D because he's been there ever since I hit puberty, which was the second worst time in my life. But I did. I didn't try to commit suicide. I committed suicide. It just didn't. The rope came undone.
Right.
I was fully committed to it and was in so much pain. And in the book, I say, you know, which I want to say to some of these kids that are, you know, going through all the stuff they're going through. I know there's been a lot in the news, to give it a moment or 6 weeks because it will change. Nothing remains the same. And I, you know, for better or for worse, I'm living proof that I have gone on and made a life and had an amazing family.
And you can cope with the depression today?
And I do. I've had moments where it's driven me under, and it's always sitting there telling me that you ought to really stop talking now. You're going on and on and on. See, did you hear that? and it's part of me, and it's also written some great songs, and because a lot of art comes out of the dark side, you know, the darkness, and so it's a yin yang thing. But I have learned to deal with it. I have gone through therapy. I've been on Prozac at times.
Is that your lifeline?
What's that?
Or is that combination your lifeline? Like, what is the thing that kind of pulls you back or helps you restart?
Actually, meditation is the only time...
Meditation and medication.
Yes. But meditation and, may I say this here, having an orgasm, are the only times I'm completely at peace and don't think about anything else.
Okay.
And meditation truly takes me out, and I can truly clear the darkness from my mind. And I've managed it now to the point where I'm very thankful. I'm grateful for fans, you know, whereas before I was... my wife is the greatest person I've ever met, ever known. And, yeah,
Rick has been married for 25 years, right?
We've been together for...
She's been with you through a lot. I mean, she is
Been
a...
there for you.
She really
We've been together
has.
for 30 years, and we were together before things started, so we went through it together.
Well, you said you were born and raised in Australia.
Yes,
and then you found a lot of success over in Australia and in Europe. You came over here to the United States to make it, and along the way, you talk about it. You had a lot of sex with a lot of women, sometimes more than one woman, in a night. But you say you were not a sex addict.
Well, to me, the term addict, sex addict, this is just a personal thing. I mean, it's the buzzword, but it indicates I'm an addict. Can't help it. I'm just sick. You know,
It's like an excuse.
Yeah, it seems to put the onus on I need to go somewhere and get better. You don't need to go somewhere. You need to deal with it inside yourself. And I've had to deal with it inside myself, and it was fine. It was awesome. While I was a young man, to have so much sex. You know, I mean, I was I felt very unattractive as a...
And you were so cute.
As a young boy, I wasn't. I had zits. I was serious.
You just talked about how wonderful your wife Barbara is.
Yes.
And yet you also write that you cheat on her.
I cheated on her.
Cheated on her, and you have 2 sons. They're going to...
If they're watching this, it's all a lie.
No. Your wife, you said she understood this going into the marriage.
No, she did not. She didn't understand it going into the marriage. Going to the marriage, she knew that I had an issue with it. We decided, it's been a battle, and my continuation was that it was amazing and fun, and how lucky am I, up until I wanted to change my lifestyle and become a married man and have children. And then it became an issue.
Yeah.
Sex. But I'd been going on so long, it was a habit, it was something that made me feel good about myself. If this pretty girl likes me, then I can't be as bad as I think I am. And so it's been a very hard thing for me. And plus I suddenly became successful, and even more women.
What made your wife stay? That's a hard thing for a wife to stay through that. She is the most amazing
person. I credit her for we decided she's a very strong woman, and she's truly a beautiful person, a deep soul, and she is.
Yes.
And we met this head on. She's not the person that we'll just sweep it under the carpet and we'll talk about it. We met. She's a very strong person. We met her head on, and we've dealt with it. And I hope I don't make any more mistakes. It's not. I don't have a free reign. I can't go out and do whatever I want. I want to stay together.
You give a very honest account of all of that in your book, and we appreciate you being so candid with us here, and a great message for teens as well. We want to thank Rick Springfield. Members of our audience are taking home the copy of his new book.